welcome. My name is Luann Pygott. You're in my kitchen. And today I am going to make for Sunday dinner teriyaki chicken and rice casserole. This will be the first time I've ever made that. And I am going to make Sopapilla cheesecake. I've made the Sopapilla cheesecake before. It's really what it is. It's a cream cheese filled pastry. And it's called Sopapilla cheesecake, but Sopapilla is some sort of a deep fried Hispanic cream cheese filled pastry. But this is not deep fried, it is baked, but I guess it must taste similar to that. So whoever named this is what they named it, Sopapilla cheesecake. And it's really nice and simple. Doesn't use a lot of ingredients, but and I'm going to tell you too, it's not real pretty. It's kind of like, doesn't look like much. It's going to be so good if you haven't tried this. And I'm actually only going to make half the size of the recipe. But I can give you the double amount to make the full size 9 to 13 pan. So you're going to start off with 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese, and you're going to want to melt that with butter. So you're going to start out with a half a stick of butter on the stove top in a pan. So we're going to go, let me see how close I can get with this cord. Hold on. I can't get very close. Trying to put my butter's in the way. Okay, so that pan, I'm heading for that pan right there. Okay, so you would put half a stick, and I'm using unsalted butter. I don't really think it matters though. Half a stick of butter, and remember I am cutting it in half because I'm just making a small 8x8 pan. I'm going to turn this on like medium. You want it to go ahead and get on with it and melt, but you don't want this to burn. Then you're going to put in 2 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. I use the regular cream cheese. You could probably use the lower fat one, although I have not tried it with that. It does, I think, change the taste a little. But this is the regular cream cheese right here. See if I can get it open. I have on these long nails now, and I can't hardly do anything with them. I'm going to switch these to some shorter ones so I can, like, do stuff. Because, like, okay, I didn't even open the package of cream cheese. And they're not that long. But they're long enough that I can't hardly do anything. Okay, it's going to be interesting tonight, see if I can play the piano. Okay, there's our cream cheese. You want that to melt down, too. With the butter. There we go. Then I'm going to put some sugar in that. And this, now I will tell you, this has a lot of sugar, and I would think that you could reduce the amount of sugar in this recipe if you want, and it would probably be fine. But I always make it like it says, but it'll be really sweet. It is going to call for 1 cup of the sugar to start. You're going to use more than that. You're going to start with a cup. Okay, let me see where my measuring things are here. I don't know where my 1 cup. That's 1.5 cups. Where's my 1 cup measure? We'll just do the half a cup twice. I don't know where my 1 cup is. Probably in the dishwasher. Okay. I am actually only going to put half of this in since I'm doing half. Oh, let me look at the right recipe here. Cup of the sugar. All right, cup of the sugar. And you're going to put that in with the melting cream cheese and butter. There you go. And I'm going to need another cup of sugar for the top. So I'm going to go ahead and measure that out. I could go ahead and put my sugar away. I'm dropping sugar on the floor. Oh, I hate that. Now, you're going to stir until that completely melts. Let me put my sugar away because I am done with this. Let me get a spoon. Actually, let's just use this little spatula. And start stirring. It does take the cream cheese a little while to melt. It's a little slow melting. Try to keep my eye on it. Just keep a watching that. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back a little. And you would use a 9 to 13 pan. Since I'm doing half. I'm doing an 8x8 pan. I'm using a glass pan. There's my pan. Careful, you don't want to heat that too fast or it'll start burning. I'm going to turn it back down, because it's sizzling over here. Just getting where that sugar stirred in with the butter here. Starting to soften. It's just a little slow, the cream cheese. Okay, there we go. Turn that down like to medium low. So then I'm going to take and I'm going to spray the pan with nonstick spray. To me, I think you only really have to do the bottom. And then you're going to take a can. You're going to need 2 cans of crescent rolls. I actually got the crescent dough sheet. If you use the crescent rolls, you have to pinch the little perforations together, and you just use that and pinch them all together. This sheet doesn't have perforations on it. I don't think I've used this before. And I'm going to use it today. It's the same thing, it just doesn't have little perforations to pull it apart. And since I'm doing, there's my pop, since I'm doing this in half, I'm only going to use half this sheet. So basically what you do is you use this as your crust, and you lay one sheet of it. If you're doing the full amount, you lay one sheet of it into your pan, and you're going to have to kind of press it out. And I'm unrolling this over here on a cutting board since I'm only using half. And I'm going to cut it in half and bring half of it back. So hold on. Hold on. Let me get a knife here. Let me stir my stuff over here too. Come on already. Start breaking up here. You're staying too solid on me. Come on, cream cheese. Melt. It's really going slow today. I guess it was really cold. Alright, so let me get half this sheet. If you're doing the whole thing, of course, you need a whole sheet. And it's not going to be the exact shape of this pan, so you're going to have to sort of mush it around and make it fit in here. If it gets a hole in it, it doesn't matter. Push it back together. This doesn't have to be real super perfect. Just has to fit into the pan. So there's half my crescent roll sheet. If you're getting the ones that are the regular crescent rolls with the little perforations, just pinch them all, mush them together, so nothing will run under it. Like I say, it doesn't fit exact, so you just mush it around till you get it in there. And then once we get this filling melted, you just pour the filling. I don't even have this done right. There you go. There's my sheet of crescent roll dough in my pan. And then once you get the filling, you're just melted, you're going to pour it in there. So I'm going to start trying to mush this cream cheese down here. Never seen one that wants to resist melting this bad. I probably should have put it in there before the butter. But when you put the butter in there first to melt it, to me it keeps the cream cheese from sticking. So I do like to kind of put the butter in there first. So I'm kind of chopping at it here. Let's see if I can't get it broken up into pieces. Now, I like to kind of melt it until it's not lumpy. But you know, if it does still have some lumps in it, it absolutely will not taste any different. It will be just as good. Okay, so you're making this yummy, yummy, yummy filling. It's like cream cheese filling. And you're not putting any eggs in this, so it really is more like just cream cheese filling, not really like cheesecake. So they call it cheesecake, but it is really not like cheesecake at all. It's like a cream cheese filled pastry. And we just keep stirring. We're getting there. Let me make sure with my directions here. Good morning. How are you doing? So let's do pour it on top of the crust. Then you're going to put the second crust on top. Then you're going to melt the rest of another cup of sugar and a stick of butter. And then you're going to pour that on top. Putting up the rest of my butter, throwing away my stuff over here while I'm waiting for that. We're just about there. This one today is really wanting to stay lumpy. Make sure it tastes okay. I think so. Let me look at it here. Now it's hot. This, just making sure this cream cheese isn't bad. No, it's good. It's got a good date on it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn that low. I think I'm going to just go ahead and say we're good here. Okay. Tastes fine. So we're going to pour the filling on top of the crust. Yes, mine's still a little lumpy, but like I say, it'll be fine. I've done this before. Okay. On top of the crust. Then I'm going to rinse this in really fast. I'm going to use this pan again. Alright, there we go. Get all the water out of it. Dry this a little bit. Put it back on the stove. Now I'm going to put another stick of butter. And remember, I'm doing half. Another stick of butter and the other cup of sugar. This is going to be like your topping. So just put those together, the sugar and the butter, until the butter melts. And you're going to pour it on top once we get the other crust. So let me get that melting. Let me get my other crust. Now this crust, I'm not going to be able to press this one in the pan, because obviously the pan is, it's got that filling. So I am going to shape the crust over here on my cutting board till I kind of get it like I want it already, to where it will look like it will fit in that pan, without it having to be moved around much, because I'm just going to have to lay it on top of here. So here we go. And I am going to have to sort of get it down into the pan, but that's okay. I'm going to do all that. I stuck my hand in there. Didn't want to do that. There we go. Reason that's a big thick piece over here. Okay, so then you're just going to, and it won't be perfect, but it's okay. Just try to get it where it covers. There you go. Now, let me turn that back up. It's on low. Put it back to medium. Then put the rest of the sugar in there with the butter. Let that melt. This is so easy to do, and it's so good. You don't have to make any crust. You already got the crust right there. There you go. What time is it? It's about 11 o'clock. I'm doing really good today with the cooking. With the timing. Okay, so I just got to get this to melt. And dissolve the sugar. Now this is where I think if you don't want this much sugar, you could cut the sugar down here. I think. It wouldn't be as sweet. This is going to make it really, really, really sweet. But if you wanted it a little less sweet, this is where I think you could probably reduce this butter too if you wanted. This for the topping. But I think you could put less sugar than this at this point right here. You might even could do less than the other, but definitely this one you could do less if you just want less sugar. Oh, we're almost melted. Because this is basically just making some liquid sugar in here. With sugar and butter. Alright, so I'm going to turn it off because it's melted. Okay, so here you go. I mean, look at that. That's just sugar and butter. And it will kind of separate a little bit. The butter will keep separating out of the sugar, and it's okay. Just kind of pour it on, because it's going to bubble around and do its own thing in the oven. And if it's separated a little bit, it's fine. Because it's just, you're not going to stop that. So it's going to do it. Alright, so pour that in. Every little drop. See, I'm not putting less sugar. I'm getting every drop out of the pan. Yep, there we are. There's reality. Okay, so then I'm going to spread it around. So what I do instead is just eat less of it. Don't eat a big piece. It's got a lot of sugar. Alright, spread it around all the edges. Try to get it fairly even. Now when this bakes, I'm telling you, it's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen. It's going to look like it's just beige. And it's going to be like, it doesn't look like much. It's not going to be very pretty. But oh, is it going to be tasty. Okay, so the last thing you're going to do is take you some cinnamon and sprinkle on top. There's no measurement. I just sprinkle however much you want. I like a lot. I like it cinnamony. So, I don't know how much this ends up being. Teaspoon. But, you know, I just take the can of, or jar of cinnamon and just sprinkle. Till it looks like that. Yeah, that's a lot. I like a lot. And then I'm going to put it in the oven. Cinnamon's not fattening. Cinnamon's good for you. Just put a bunch of that on there. I'm going to bake it at 350 for 30 to 40 minutes. I've already got the oven on, so in we go. I'm going to check it at 30. Then, while that is cooking, I'm going to get my main dish ready. So here's the beginning of my main dish. I cooked this last night. This is chicken. This is, now I did this in half too, so I'm going to tell you the full recipe. I did 1.5 pounds of chicken. Those are chicken tenderloins. You can use any kind of chicken. And you bake it. And what you do is you make a sauce to put over the chicken. So what I made for the sauce is a 3/4 of a cup of low sodium soy sauce. Now I will tell you I had some regular soy sauce too, and I had about, I had about 1/4 cup of regular soy sauce and mixed with 1/2 cup of low sodium. So that's what I actually did. But it calls for 3/4 of a cup of low sodium, 1/2 cup of water, 1/3 cup of packed brown sugar, tablespoon of honey, 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground ginger, a teaspoon of olive oil, and 1/2 teaspoon of minced garlic. And instead of minced garlic, because I didn't have that, I used this right here, garlic pepper. I used like 1/2 teaspoon of that. Okay, so then you heat that until it bubbles on the stove in a pan. All those ingredients. And I'm going to put this recipe up. Then you mix 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water. And after the your liquid boils for about a minute, you pour in the cornstarch and water mix. You let it simmer for about another minute, and then you pour a cup of it on top of the chicken, the raw chicken, and you cover it and you bake it for about 30 to 35 minutes or whenever they're done. You bake it in the oven in this teriyaki. You've made teriyaki sauce. So you bake it in the oven in the teriyaki sauce. And that's only, and then you're going to save the rest of it. So see, I have some more of it still in the pan that I have saved, plus what is on this chicken. Then you take 32 ounces of frozen mixed vegetables, and this says to get like the ones without a sauce, and you might want to get the Asian varieties. I didn't get the Asian varieties. I got just regular mixed vegetables because my dad doesn't really like the other kind, so I got the regular. But you can use anything. Just get some frozen mixed vegetables, not with a sauce, and you cook them, how it says on the package. And then you're going. I've done that over here, Chip. So here is my mixed vegetables, and I have to drain that. So let me drain those real fast. Then you're also going to add some rice, and so then you're going to cook 3 cups of rice. This says 3 cups of brown rice. I didn't do brown rice. I did white rice. But you can do brown rice. So then once you cook it, here's my cooked rice. So then I'm going to add my cooked rice to the chicken. So you put your chicken in a bowl, and then you're going to add your rice. I just have to see if I think this is enough sauce. I'm not sure this is enough sauce or not. We're going to find out here in a minute. If it's not, I'm going to make some more sauce. We're going to see how much sauce this is. But maybe it's enough. Okay, so there's my rice. And you want to stir it in here with your chicken. I think I want a bigger stir than that. That one's a little skinny. Let's get the fatter one. It'll be a little faster. Got a bigger paddle now. So you're going to stir that around till you get that stirred in. And when you bake the chicken, I kept the liquid that it bakes in. So you've got some teriyaki sauce there. I tasted this chicken when I made it last night. Oh, it's so good. I'm like, oh, that's yummy. I am losing some rice over here. Okay, so we're going to stir it here. Looks pretty good. All right, so there's that. Then you're going to add a cup of drained canned pineapple. You can get the tidbits or the chunks packed in juice. They're trying to make it not as much sugar, I guess. So this is the one packed in juice. And you need a cup. Let me get my measure. And I'm going to like spoon it in there. Now if you don't want pineapple, I suppose you could leave it out. I love like Asian chicken dishes with pineapple in it. Oh, so good. Alright, so let me get this. Oops. Seriously, that was supposed to be a clean bowl over there. Now I've got to wash it. I don't know why my rice is escaping. I thought I got a big enough bowl, but it doesn't appear to be so. Alright. So I am measuring my pineapple tidbits. I got the one with the tidbits. It says drained, so you don't want the juice. Make it too runny, probably. Put that all in there. If it's a little bit of extra, I like the pineapple part, so I don't care. There we go. So we'll put that in. So let's mix that a little bit. Then you're going to add your mixed vegetables. Like I say, you might want to use the Asian vegetables. Just get something that doesn't have a sauce in the bag. You want just the plain vegetables. I'm trying to get some of this rice is still in a big chunk here. I want it to get all this. I want it to absorb the liquid, the teriyaki sauce. There we go. I see like chunks of white rice. There we go. Now, let's get the vegetables. Let me make sure I drain it one little bit more time here. They're sticking to my lid, so I'm banging it. This is a lot of vegetables, but that's good. Make it really good. Now you could, I think you could make this a one-dish meal, since it has the vegetables in it. Although I am making an extra vegetable just because I like to have lots of vegetables. I just think we don't get enough vegetables, you know. So I'm going to have another vegetable on the side besides this. But you could have just this, I think, because it does have vegetables. I just don't think you'll be getting a full serving of vegetables. So let's make a little extra. So let's stir it real well. This looks really good. Then it tells you, let's see, am I missing anything? Alright, so here's where we're at. When the chicken is shredded, so you shred the chicken after you cook it. When the chicken is shredded and the vegetables are cooked, add the vegetables, pineapple, and rice to a casserole dish with the chicken. You're going to add most of the remaining sauce. Reserve a bit to drizzle over the top when it's finished. Stir everything together. And you're going to cook it in the oven at 350, only for 15 minutes. And I'm probably going to put this in the oven because I have that Sopapilla cheesecake in there. I'm going to do this probably right before I leave so it's as hot as it can be. So then I'm going to add, I'm trying to decide if I actually want to keep some of it to drizzle. I'm trying to decide if it's going to fit in that pan that I have. We're going to find out. Alright, let me get this little spatula. Do I want to save some to drizzle? I really don't know that I care about drizzling, honestly. And this has thickened up on me just a tiny bit, so I'm going to add a touch of water, because I actually made this yesterday. And I had it in the refrigerator, and then I heated it back up. And it's gotten a little gelatinous on me here. So I'm going to add a little water, just barely. Some of it's stuck over here too, so I'm getting it unstuck off the pan. It's not burned, it's just dried a little bit. I think I need a little bit more than that too. Oh, there's my 1 cup measure. Look at there, I just found it. And there it is. Okay, hold on here. I'm going to add a little more water. I don't really think I'm going to worry about saving some to drizzle on top. I want it all mixed in even. And if you've got some drizzled on top, I guess that's just for looks. If you've got some drizzled on top, you're going to have some bites that have a lot more teriyaki in it than others. And to me, this is the best part, is teriyaki sauce. And I want it evenly distributed throughout the dish. So I'm not going to save any to drizzle on top, but feel free to do so if you wish. Alright, let me pour the rest of this in. This isn't a whole lot left. So you might have like a half a cup of it left if you're making the whole recipe. And by the way, this is half the recipe I've made. Now, this is a lot. Okay, here we go. This is the best thing. It's like homemade teriyaki sauce. Oh, it's so good. So I guess so if you want it to look like that, you know, you could save some to drizzle on top when you want it. If you want it to look like that when you serve it. And you'll have a little fancy drizzle on it. You can do that. If you're serving it, you know, for company, I think you could, that would be nice. My mom and dad and I don't care. And it's really not because I don't care about making it fancy. I love to make stuff pretty and fancy. It's that I want the flavor distributed evenly throughout. That's what I want. I don't want to waste drizzles on the top with this sauce. And I'm, like I said, I'm a little concerned it's not going to be enough sauce, but I'm going to find out here in a minute what this tastes like. And see if it is enough. It sure does look good. And it sure does smell good, I'll tell you that too. Alright, let's see if it's got enough flavor. That's what I'm wanting to make sure. Does it have enough flavor? I say yes. How about another taste? It's really good. And see? Now, I don't think that this dish is not fattening. This says, if you eat, this should be 4 servings. Okay, that's a huge serving. I think this is more than 4 servings. If you make the full-size dish, it's 8 servings. A serving has 321 calories. That's really about the same as a frozen lean cuisine dinner, which are those little diet dinners. Well, this is really kind of a low-calorie dinner right here. I am very excited about that because it has a lot of flavor. Oh, that was good. It has a lot of flavor and not a lot of calories, not a lot of fat. Yay! Okay, so you're going to spray a dish. I'm going to see if it'll fit in here. I like this pan because it doesn't weigh a lot, and I can leave it with my mother to just keep this pan. It also comes with its own nifty little lid, which you can't bake with this lid because it's plastic. But this is to store it in the refrigerator lid that fits it. But I like to leave like this pan with my mother because she has neuropathy and she's really shaky, and it's hard for her to pick up heavy stuff. She drops it all the time. And those big glass pans, I love them, but they're very hard for her to handle. And I could just take it out and put it in other dishes, but sometimes it's easier just to say, here, keep the dish. So this dish doesn't weigh a lot, and so that's why I like to use this to give to my mother. Because she can take it out of the refrigerator, and it's not too heavy, because she's really shaky now. So this way she has a very manageable weight dish. I've started doing things since I do her grocery shopping. Now, I've started buying her stuff, like if she wants a gallon of milk, and I know it's a little more expensive, but she can't hardly pick up a gallon of milk to pour it. She can't hardly do it even with 2 hands. It shakes so bad. And I'm like, you know what? First of all, she's struggling. Second of all, she's going to make the biggest mess if she dropped a gallon of milk on the floor. That's going to be so bad. So I started just buying her the half gallons. So if she wants a gallon of milk, I just buy her 2 half gallons. Because she can pick those up easier. And she figured that out one day. She goes, oh, I appreciate that so much. She says, I can actually lift those. So I try to, even though I know it's more economical to buy the bigger size, but she can't hardly pick it up. All right, there you go. Yummy. And I like that it only takes 15 minutes in the oven, so it's not going to dry that out. So you're going to bake it at 350. Does it say to cover? It doesn't say. I will probably cover it. Cover it with foil. It doesn't say either way, but I really don't want it to dry out. I think it'll heat better and kind of make a little bit of steam if you cover it with foil. So let's cover it. And as soon as my Sopapilla cheesecake is done in the oven, I'll put that in for 15 minutes. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Excuse me. I told you. I told you I was going to sneeze. My nose is tickling today. Alright, so let's do my other vegetable that I'm going to make to go with this. I'm going to make some glazed carrots. So what I have done is I've peeled, you can get the little baby carrots. They're already peeled. They're really easy. I actually like these better. You know, they spray something or other on those baby carrots. These, I think these are sweeter. I actually like these better. There's just regular carrots. And I've peeled them and cut them and I've boiled them for like 10 minutes. Until they're soft. Actually, I think I only boiled them for 8 minutes. And I don't like them soft as mush, but it's a little soft. So I am draining that, and then I'm going to take this pan here. And this is so easy and yummy. Let me put this, let me just unplug it, because it's not going to go any closer. My stove is dirty. I'm making a mess with all the stuff I'm sticking it in. Got pans all over here. Let me clean out some of this. I'll just clean it at the end, though. I'm splattering everything today. Alright, there we go. So what you're going to do, if you have... Oh, I got to find my recipe. Let me find my recipe for it so I do the right amount. It's the one recipe I didn't flip to. Let me put my cheesecake recipe in. Sopapilla. Then let's find glazed carrots. And that is, here it is, that is a pound of carrots. It's actually a pound of carrots minus 1, because I am saving a carrot for something next week that I need. Alright, so you're going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. You could do salted or unsalted. I just happen to have 2 tablespoons. I have the right amount here, and unsalted. So I'm actually going to add a little salt, because I don't want it unsalted. And then I'm going to turn that on. So there's 2 tablespoons of butter. You're going to add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and 2 tablespoons of honey. So let me add a little sugar, not sugar, salt. 1/8 teaspoon of salt or something. And then let's do honey. 2 tablespoons of honey. And you probably can eyeball this, honestly. Here, let's do that. So like 1 tablespoon and 2 tablespoons. There you go. This is orange blossom honey. You can use whatever kind you like, though. Get some local honey. That's the best. I haven't gone out and gotten any local honey lately, but I do like to do that. I just haven't gone to where they're selling it anywhere. Sometimes they bring it. There are some people that'll like bring it to work in mason jars, and yeah, I'll buy it. If they show up with it at work, well, I'll buy it. Well, they haven't been since COVID. People haven't been doing that, so it's been a while. Now we will add. What do I do with my recipe? Oh, a tablespoon of brown sugar. So let me get that real quick. You could use light or dark. I almost always use light because that's what I have the most of. I usually only use dark if the recipe actually says use dark. Okay, so a tablespoon. My tablespoon's wet. Hold on, let me dry it off because I washed it. Tablespoon of packed brown sugar. It just fell right out of my spoon. Hold on. There you go. Oops, I got a little on the burner. Okay. There we go. So we're going to let that melt. It's just about done. And then when it's done, all you do is pour the carrots in there and poof, you're done. I mean, that's it. So easy. To me, these remind me of like the carrots at the Cracker Barrel or any kind of a glazed carrot in a restaurant like that. You just make your own. Now this says, I think it says you can add some parsley to it. I usually don't do that, but I guess I could. You can add some fresh parsley. Let's see, what's the recipe say? 2 tablespoons of fresh mint or parsley. I don't have fresh mint or parsley. But you can add, if you want it to dry, hold on, I don't want that to get that hot. Oh, here's some parsley. Then I would, instead of a tablespoon, I would do a teaspoon. You only want about 1/3 of the amount if it's dry. And then I like to add it to the liquid so it kind of reconstitutes. So if you want to add dry parsley, do a teaspoon if you have, or mint. Or if you want to do fresh, then do a tablespoon of either of those. So there we go. There's some parsley. I usually don't do it, but it does make it pretty. And I guess it's kind of good. It's green. Okay, so let me, oh, boiling. Let's turn that down. We have 11 minutes. Oh, look, one of my little carrots didn't. I guess it's stuck in the pan. I didn't even know it. You can let that simmer for a minute if you want. Kind of thickens it a little. Let me see if I can peek at the Sopapilla cheesecake. Oh yeah, it's rising really well. And it smells so good. Okay, let's let that bubble. Look at that bubble. We'll just let that do that for a minute. Nope, I've learned you don't want to get it too thick, or it's hard to deal with. I do like it a little thickened, though. That one carrot in there, he's going to be saturated. And stir that around some. I'm turning it way down to low, because it's going to town, isn't it? Then I'm going to, all that's doing that, I'm going to put some stuff in my dishwasher. I do have it turned down really low, so it shouldn't have any little disasters. It shouldn't. So love dishwashers. I lived the first, how many years of my life? It wasn't until I was about 37 that I had a dishwasher in the house. Those baby carrots are a byproduct of fresh carrots chopped and formed into the shape. I've heard that. They taste mushy. Yeah, and sometimes they taste bitter to me, too. I've heard they spray them something. Yeah, they're like chopping them to make them look like that. I've heard that, too. And so I've like, yeah, I don't, And it's, you know, it doesn't take but a minute or something to... that my minute of sizzling is up. It doesn't take that long to do this. It's not hard. They're just so much better. And then I chop them. See, I'm cutting them on an angle, so it looks like a baby carrot. So it's the same size. So just, you know, you can cut them into whatever size you want. And there we go. Glazed carrots. So easy and yummy. So we only have like 8 minutes until the Sopapilla cheesecake is done. Let's have a little taste of this. Hot. Oh, that's yummy. Alright. Now put my lid. It's turned off. That's over my oven vent. That burner. And so it will stay warm. Now let me put some more stuff here in my dishwasher. No, that's not very exciting at all. That's where I am over there. Right there. Stuff in my dishwasher. Say, if you want to wait 8 minutes, we can see what this Sopapilla cheesecake looks like. I don't usually let the video go till the stuff's done because it takes too long. But we only have 7 minutes. So maybe we can wait for 7 minutes. And I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to put the other stuff in the oven and I'm done. And then I'm going to go do my makeup before I go because I don't have any makeup on right now. Let's see. I think I'm going to put this down here. I'm trying to sort stuff in my dishwasher here. And make sure I got enough room. I used a lot of little pans today. It wasn't hard to do, but it had a lot of separate little mixing things. So, I seem to have several pans. There we go. Instant clean. I do need to. This little whisk says wash my hand. No, I really like it. It's really cute. The Pioneer Woman. I don't know if I'd have gotten it had I known I had to wash my hand. And there it is. I think I wash most of my whisks by hand anyway. Because I have noticed if you put them in the dishwasher, they rust. And they'll rust like on the bottom and they'll rust up by like, oh, not this one. But like this one. It'll start rusting like up here. Where this little thingy is. Or here. Yeah, I've got where I don't put any whisks. I guess if you had a silicone one you could. But I don't put whisks in the dishwasher because they rust. Okay, so I think that's all the dishes. Except this one little bowl I dropped rice in. Let me clean that real fast. Okay, these are my Valentine's Day. I use these dishes in February. I have a little bit of an obsession with dishes. I realized that one day. You know what? I'm kind of obsessed with dishes. I don't know why I'm like, I want new dishes all the time. Like, why do I want new dishes all the time? I don't know, but I do. Uh-oh, sorry about that. I think you're seeing the ceiling. Dropped my phone. Totally fell. You love good old Farberware. Oh, I know. I have Farberware, and I have some Revereware, too. Most of that is from 1985, when I got married originally. It's old, but boy, does it last well. Musty flavor, yeah. I think you're right. I think it does. I don't know what it... But they're just not very good. And like you say, they're mushy. They're mushy on the outside. And sometimes, to me, they aren't always real orange. They're like faded orangey looking. I don't know. I've gotten to where I don't want them. I'm like, yeah, let's do the good carrots. And clean up here a little bit. I need to wash the whole top of the stove here, but I'll do that. I need to put some cleanser on it. But these are my Valentine. I put these dishes out for February. Look, aren't they cute? I have just like this little assortment of different things that look... There's some red plates. Look at those. Heart shape. They're so cute. See, February's over, so I got to put these up. And then I got these little... These don't really match as far as color because they're blue. But they're heart-shaped little bowls. So I have these all ready to put away because I have a cabinet across the kitchen. A whole cabinet area that I put extra dishes in when I realized, you know, I have a lot of dishes. I have a lot of dishes. And some people have given me the dishes. I didn't buy all of them. And some of them I bought like on clearance and stuff. But so then, I don't have a whole lot of like green dishes, which I like to do for March. I want like a green. You know, that's hard to find. I don't want to spend a fortune. But I've got, these are clear. It's like a clear, it's green. Let's see if you can tell here. There you go. It's clear glass. So I have a few of those. I think I just got these at Walmart or something one year. I don't remember where I got them. They were not expensive. But I've had those for probably 20 years. And then it has bowls. And they're not like exactly what I want. But like I said, it's kind of hard to find. I can find a lot of aqua green or almost yellow green. I want like green. And then after March, I'll switch them out. I have Easter Bunny-ish. I have Easter Bunny dishes too. And I don't have a lot, because, like, well, it's probably a lot. But I have 4 little plates, because it's just me. If I had somebody else here, that way, if I ever do get some company, I can give you a cookie or something. Or a scone. We'll have tea and scones with my little dishes. But I love seasonal dishes. And, of course, that started with Christmas. We have 2 minutes before that's going to be done. 2 minutes. And your mom is Old Revere ware. Oh, that's so heavier. Oh, yeah. Than what companies make now. I'll bet it is. And it's going to last forever. And I find it, like, cleans better. Cleans better. It doesn't burn on the bottom. It's just so much better stuff. I'm really glad. I got that, actually, as wedding gifts when I got married. So I maybe only bought 1 or 2 pans myself. Most of it were gifts. It was great. But there's my one beat. Let's see if it's actually going to be done at the... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be done at the 30-minute mark. And let me move this out of the way, and I'll show it to you. And again, don't feel like you're going to be impressed with what this looks like. It's kind of like, it's just cratery looking. It's just not pretty. But do not be fooled. It tastes fantastic. So, it's called Sopapilla Cheesecake. It is basically a cream cheese filled pastry, is what it is. Alright, we're 12 seconds. And then I'm going to put this other thing in the oven. I think it's, yeah, still at 350. It's only going to take 15 minutes to bake my little casserole because it's all cooked. It just has to heat. And you know what? I'm not going to put this in the oven yet because we aren't going to eat it for over an hour. I'm going to put it in the oven right before I leave. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven off. Because it's earlier than I normally am. Okay, here it is. Oh my goodness. And let's see, is it? Yeah, it's done. You just want your pastry done. That's it right there, boys. Just a bubbling away. Here, let me take you closer. But that's what it looks like. See, to me, it looks like a big old slab of meat or something. And it's the cinnamon. It's why it's so brown. It doesn't look that pretty at all. Do not be fooled. It has a whole coating of cinnamon on top. You use the pastry or those Pillsbury crescent roll dough. And then you use it for top and bottom crust, and you fill it with cream cheese, butter, and sugar. It's going to be so good. But I'm going to let it sit there. It's good warm. It's good warm. It's good cold. It's good room temperature. It is good any way and every way you can imagine. So give that a try. It's so simple to make. And it's really, really, really sweet. Alright, so there we go. I'm going to go ahead and go. And I'm going to go do my makeup. I'll do that with a different video. So thank you for watching. And, whoops. You have a good day. And try making some of this yummy stuff. And see if you like it. Bye.